Martio here. Welcome to Friday on the channel, which means we have got a live album ranking today. And today's band is a band that we did their studio albums, way back. We're talking about Big Country, but we're not going to go through all their live albums because A, I haven't got them all, and B, there's a lot that are basically the same album. So I've got 8, and of course Big Country was formed in 1981 in Dunfermline, and they're still going today, but it's the lineup of Stuart Adamson, Mark Brzezinski, Bruce Watson and Tony Butler that was the creme de la creme. I have seen them. I saw them in 1986. They were on the same bill as Queen at Nebworth Park, along with Status Quo and Belia Som. Great set, I can remember it, and I'm so glad that I saw that lineup of Big Country. So I said I've got 8 of the album, so I'll rank the 8 that I own. So coming in at number 8, we have a box set to start off with, and it's called We're Not in Kansas, and it's the live bootleg box set 1993 to 1998 that actually came out in 2017. On it we have Stuart Adamson, who sadly passed away 2001, Mark Brzezinski on the drums, Bruce Watson guitars and mandolin and sitars, and Tony Butler on the bass. Now these are the acoustic sets. The first disc was recorded in Minneapolis in 1993, and we get all go together, We're Not in Kansas, Look Away, What You're Looking For, Chester's Farm, Wonderland, Pink Marshmallow Moon, Ships, Long Way Home, Alone, The One I Love, and In a Big Country. And then the second disc you get 3 other tracks from that gig. You get Chance, Lost Patrol, Don't Fear the Reaper, which is interesting, and then Hey Hey My My. Then on the other bit of the disc 2 you get Glasgow, Tower Records. Remember Tower Records? Now this was done on the 23rd of June 1995. So you get Your Dreamer, Look Away, I'm Not Ashamed, One in a Million, Send You, We're Not in Kansas, Hey Hey My My, Rockin' in the Free World. Then disc 3 is Sterling MC Robert Center, done in 1994. And on there we get All Go Together, Harvest Home, King of Emotion, Look Away, 13 Valleys, One Great Thing, Winter Sky, Long Way Home, Ships, The Storm, Everything I Need, River of Hope, Just a Shadow, We're Not in Kansas, Come Back to Me. Disc 4 starts off with the end of that gig. We've got Peace in Our Time, In a Big Country, Chance, Rockin' the Free World and Don't Fear the Reaper. Disc 4 is Rotterdam in 1995. We've got an introduction from Mark, and then 2 versions of All Together Now. You Dream and Look Away, Ships, I'm Not Ashamed, Just a Shadow, Long Way from Home, The Storm, 13 Valleys. Disc 5 is Don't Fear the Reaper, same gig in Rotterdam, We're Not in Kansas, In a Big Country, Peace in Our Time, Found Out About You, Rockin' the Free World and Chance, and Tracks of My Tears. And the last disc, this last bit of this disc is from Dunfermline Tappy Tories 1998, You're a Dreamer, Look Away, Chance, In a Big Country and Daydream Believer, the Monkeys track. They're mostly a very unbooked box set. There's some pretty bad recordings, but it's very nostalgic, and they were good as an acoustic band. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10. Coming in number 7 then, we've got an album called Eclectic. It was released in 1996, and a video came out in 2001. It was recorded at Dingwalls in London in March of 1996 and features guest appearances by Bobby Valentino, King Maisie, Carol Lula and Steve Harley and Aaron Emerson. So the band at the time was the classic lineup: Stuart Adamson, Bruce Watkins, Tony Butler and Mark Brzezinski. On here you get River of Hope, King of Emotion, great track, Big Yellow Taxi, The Buffalo Skinners, which is one of my favourite tracks, Summertime, which is the old George Gershwin number, The Night They Drove Old Dixie, Eleanor Rigby, great little version of the Beatles song, Winter Sky, Sing It with Steve Harley, a wonderful version of I'm on Fire from Bruce Springsteen, Where the Rose is Sown, really good, Come Back to Me, and a really good version of Ruby Tuesday. This is good. It's got a mixture of electric and acoustic. It's got some great covers on here, and they're really good album. And I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.6. Okay, coming in at number 6 is one called Big Country Harvest Time in Concert. It was released this year, but I don't know where it is and what time it was, because it's one that's on Spotify. It's a good little album though. On this one we have 1000 Stars, Angel Park, Close Action, Balcony, Lost Patrol, In a Big Country, Porphyman, Chance, Inwards, Fields on Fire, Wonderland, Harvest Time, Tracks of Tears, and A Big Country, A Bit of Revive. It's really good. It's got all the hits on there. It's a short little sharp album, some great production on it. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 5 is an album called Brighton Rock. It was released in 1997 and recorded at the Brighton Dome in November of 1995, and it's Stuart, Bruce, Tony and Mark. On this one we've got God's Great Mistake, You Dreamer, Look Away, Sail Into Nothing, Thunder and Lightning, I'm Not Ashamed, Eildon, Post-Nuclear Talking Blues, Peace in Our Time, Wonderland Alone, Chance, Fields of Fire. This is good as well. What I like about this, it's got some of the more later tracks. They haven't gone for all the hits. These are all the ones off their later albums. So it's a really good collection of what the more modern, as I call it, the more modern big country tracks. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Coming in at number 4, we have At the BBC. It's one of them little packages of the BBC put out. It came out in 2013. And it's Big Country's recording and sessions for the BBC between 1982 and 1990. It includes performances from Wembley, Reading, Hammersmith, Palais. The band members that appear on this one are Stuart Adamson, Bruce Watson, Tony Butler, Mark Brzezinski. First bit is from David Jensen, Kid Jensen session from 1982. So these are sort of live in the studio. So we got Harvest Home, Heart of Soul, Close Action, Angel Park. Then the John Peel session from 1983. Same sort of format. Inwards, 1000 Stars, which is great. Close Action, and Porphyman, which is fantastic. It's one of my favourite tracks. Then we get a live concert, a bit of a live concert from the Hammersmith Palais in 1983. Balcony, Lost Patrol, The Storm, In a Big Country, and Angel Park's Field of Fire. That's CD1. CD2 starts off with Live at the Reading Festival in 1983. Harvest Home, Close Action, The Storm, Fields of Fire. Live at Wembley Stadium comes next, and we got Lost Patrol, In a Big Country, Porphyman and Inwards. Then from 19 88, live from the Soviet embassy. Got Peace in Our Time, good one to start with. Look Away, Broken Heart, 1,000-Yard Stairs, which is brilliant on here. King of Emotion and River of Hope. CD3 was done at the Hammersmith Odeon, and it's Peace in Our Time, Look Away, Broken Land, Broken Heart, even Just a Shadow, which is brilliant on here. 1,000-Yard Stare, brilliant. The Seer, it was good to hear that. Come Back to Me, The Travellers, that little sort of Celtic instrumental. King of Emotion, East of Even, Restless Natives, Tracks of My Tears and Fields of Fire. This is a great little box set from the BBC again. Great sounding, great package. Really does cover that period of when they were at their peak. I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, then coming at number 3 is a double album, and it's called Live at Rockpalast. It's 2 concerts from 2 different years. This came out in 2018. It's Stuart Adamson, Bruce Watson, Tony Butler and Mark Brzezinski. So CD1 was done in 1986 in Essen, and the set they had on here is Wonderland, Fields of Fire, Where the Rose is Sown, Rain Dance and Remembrance Day, Just a Shadow, Steel Town. Great version, it's much better live, I think. Look Away, Chance, The Teacher, great tracks all these. In a Big Country, Inwards, Harvest Home, The Storm, Lost Patrol, and Tears of Tracks of My Tears. The second one was done in 1991, and this is done in Bonn, and it's Stuart Adamson, Bruce Watson, Tony Butler and Pat Ahern on the drums now. Opens up with a great version of We're Not in Kansas, probably the heaviest one I've got. King of Emotions, brilliant on here. Look Away, Republican Party, Reptile, brilliant. Brilliant track, brilliant live. Beautiful People, Winter Sky, 13 Valleys, Wonderland Ships, they're all just great tracks. In a Big Country, Leap of Faith, really good. Chance, Peace in Our Time, Fields of Fire, Manish Boy and Keep on Rocking in the Free World. I think this is a really good CD. I haven't got the DVDs, but I have seen them. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. Coming at number 2 then. This was released in October 2000, and it's Come Up Screaming. Recorded at the Final Fling Tour in May 2000. Tony Butler's on here. Mark Brzezinski, Bruce Watson and Stuart Adamson. It's just amazing that within a year of this coming out, Stuart was no longer with us, but he left us with this great little album. CD1 is Harvest Home, King of Emotion, a brilliant version of Driving to Damascus. Brilliant version, like John Wayne's Dream, brilliant version of it. The Storm, Where the Rose is Sown, Come Back to Me, Somebody Else, Dive Into Me, Look Away, You Dreamer, Your Spirit to Me. CD2 starts off with a great version of The President Slipped and Fell, Lost Patrol, 13 Valleys, Inwards, Wonderland, We're Not in Kansas, For a Man, Chance. Brilliant track, brilliant live on this, In a Big Country, and a stonking version of Fields of Fire. Probably the best version live that I've got. This is a great live album, all the classics in there, some of the newer ones, and this was a great way for them to sign off. Absolutely brilliant album, the production's great, Stuart sounds brilliant on this. He was a very troubled man. It's such a shame because I thought he was a terrific frontman and guitar player. And I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. So my number 1 and my favourite Big Country live album. It's an album that's called Without the Aid of a Safety Net, and it was their first live album. It was released in 1994, and it was recorded at the Barrowlands in Glasgow. It was released as a single album, and then in 2005, and this is the version I've got, is an extended edition, and it's the complete concert, because it's split into two. They do an acoustic set and then an electric set. So on here it's Stuart Adamson, Mark Brzezinski, Tony Butler and Bruce Watson. So disc 1 is like the acoustic set. So it's an introduction, Harvest Home, Peace in the Time, Just a Shadow, 13 Valleys, and it's a brilliant acoustic version. Winter Sky is wonderful on this. The Storm, Chance, Tracks of My Tears, Rocking to the Field, Free World, All Go Together, We're Not in Kansas, Look Away, What You Are Working For, and Steel Town. Great, that is a great, it's the best acoustic set that I've got by them. Brilliant. Disc 2 is the electric set, so and Stuart says hello, we're back, and we now got the electric stuff type thing, and he opens up with Ships, which is brilliant on here. Great version of Wonderland, Long Way Home, Alone, In a Big Country, and the Lost Patrol. Then we get Hey Hey My My, Out of the Blue, and Fields of Fire. It was a good album when it first came out, but this reissue is brilliant because you've got the whole show. The acoustic stuff on here, as I said, is absolutely brilliant. The live stuff is banging as well. Great, it's a great concert. Playing in Glasgow, of course, they're in their home country, and the fans really give it atmosphere. It's a great concert. Play this one a lot. That's the go-to live album for me by Big Country. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.5. Okay then, that's all for today's live albums. Little bit of Big Country for you. I'll be back later where we've got an extra gong show this week. So we've got part 5 coming up, and it is the incarnation called Planet Gong, and their album Live Floating Anarchy 1977. So join me for that later. Bye for now.